Hello everyone, welcome to another video from Your Tech Today. In this video we'll take a look at a 2TB SSD from Crucial. This is the MX500 and I got a great deal on this on Black Friday here in Canada, and I ordered it from Amazon and it was just delivered yesterday. It was delayed by a lot of days, but I finally got it, and the deal that I got, I don't mind it being delayed. So we'll take a look. This is the box, and this is not the frustration-free packing. This is the standard packing which I ordered. I don't know how the frustration-free packing looks like. I guess it's a normal box, a normal cardboard box, and this is the retail packaging. So you have a 7mm to 9.5mm spacer. You have a 5-year warranty, and you have the data transfer software, which you can download from here. So I've done that already and installed it in my Asus GL703. And GE, that's the model. It's the latest one with the 8th generation 8750H and 16 gigs of RAM, and it comes with NVMe storage of 128 GB, which is sort of the slow one because it's a Kingston one. But there is also a hard drive in this, which is a 1TB, and it's painfully slow, and it makes these noises when it's running. And obviously an SSD is a better choice because it runs faster, and I'll be storing all my data on this, and I will be also, for video editing, it's better to use an SSD. It's much faster because the processor in this laptop is quite good for video editing, and when I was using the hard drive, it was very slow for video editing. Plus I like to use SSDs because it's much safer to use it in a laptop, because the laptops you carry it everywhere, and hard disks can get damaged when you travel with them. So that's why I got this, and especially I got a good deal on this. That's why I bought this. Around 5 years back, like in 2013, I got my first SSD for my old desktop, and that was like, I think, a 128 GB, and that was also about the same price what I paid for a 2TB SSD today. And it's just shocking that how low they have become in prices. So this is the box, and quite nice packaging, and you have your seal over here, which I've already opened because I checked it. You can download the software from here, and you have 5 years warranty, and the adapter inside, and the transfer software, as I said, is here. Also there is a SSD management software from Crucial, which you can also download, and you can update the firmware of the SSD. So let's open it up, and some paperwork. The SSD itself, it's beautiful. I think it looks very nice. And this is the spacer, and there is nothing else in the box. So if you have one of those older laptops which use the thicker hard drive, then you can put the spacer and use this to install. So we are going to install this in this laptop. So in this laptop, it's easy because you have this cover over here with one screw over here, and you can just open it up. So before we continue, I would like to tell you that if you are doing this for your primary hard drive, or you would like to clone your hard drive, you need to use this kind of a adapter and connect the SSD to this, like this, connect it to the USB port, and clone your existing hard drive to the SSD before you continue installing it. And the cloning software, as I said, you can download it from their website. But the only problem here is this adapter was given to me with the Samsung SSD, and the Crucial does not include that. This is available on Amazon. It's pretty cheap, like $5 to $10 you can get it. So I had it from the previous SSD, so I used it. But in this case, I'm not using it because my hard drive is a secondary one, and I've totally wiped it and backed it up on an external hard drive. So I don't need to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and directly install this. So we have opened the back cover. This is the RAM. This is the NVMe. There's a very horrible quality and performance NVMe which has been included by Asus. I don't know what is wrong with Asus that they have used on almost a $2,000 laptop such a horrible quality NVMe. I will change this in the future, but right now only Windows and my programs are installed on this, so I'm not messing with that. So this is where you have the hard drive, the 1TB one, and I'm going to remove that now. Please ground yourself before you do this, because any static will harm your laptop electronics. I haven't done it, but do as I say, not as I do. and the hard drive comes out like this. Something broke over here. I don't know what that is. So just disconnect it. So hard drive is disconnected. Now we need to remove this cage and install the SSD in this. So I've removed the 4 screws, and let's just remove the hard drive. So this is the Seagate Firecuda. Not a good hard drive. It makes noises and the speed is pretty slow. So let's install the SSD now. As you can see, if I push it all the way down, the screw holes don't line up. Let's see if we need the spacer. So I guess I was wrong. We do need the spacer over here. So with the spacer, I'm installing it. And now that I've put the spacer, the holes are absolutely aligned. So it can be different in different laptops, and in desktops obviously you won't have to use the spacer. So there goes screw number 1. So this is done. It's ready to be installed. The screw has not gone all the way in, that's why it's not fitting. Let's install this. Okay. And that's it. Just put the screws. So this cable had come out, so be careful if you have this laptop. Just plug it in back. So just a small comment, like Asus has given us this one RAM slot over here, and the other one is on the other side, and you have to remove the whole back panel over here, which is a lot of screws, to install the empty RAM slot. They could have just given us the empty RAM slot over here and put this one inside so that we could add another RAM. I don't know how these companies do such things. So the install is finished. Let's put the back cover. And the install is finished. Let me power it up and check it and put the benchmarks for you on the screen, that what speeds am I getting. I'm just gonna copy over my data from my external hard drive to the SSD. So a small problem that I would like to share with you is the drive was working, the Crucial software was detecting it, but it would not show up in this PC or the Explorer. And what I did is I deleted the volume from manage, and then I reformatted it, reallocated the whole drive, and did not assign a drive letter. And I formatted it without assigning a drive letter. And then after that, when the format was finished, again it didn't show up over here. Then you assign a new drive letter to it, and it will show up over here. So I don't know why this happened, but this is how I fixed it. So I hope it helps some of you out if you face the same issue. So the crystal disk mark test is done, and we're getting 556 read, sequential read, and 482.2 of sequential read. So this is pretty close to, at least the read speeds are pretty close to what Crucial has claimed. The write is a bit slower, but it's okay. Some variables can be there, but overall for the price and everything, I think these are pretty good speeds and will be much better than the hard drives. In all the parameters, I can see that. And the temperature of the drive right now is 40 degrees Celsius. So even running the test has not increased the temperature of the drive. I'm still using the 5-year-old Samsung SSD in the desktop, and still there is no sign of it, going bad or anything. So life of these drives is quite a lot, and in daily use we really don't stress them enough that they will go bad, and they will definitely last longer than hard drives. And you have 5 years of warranty, so if in case something happens, you can always get a replacement. And I suggest that use it for at least a month, like that is usually the return period of Amazon. And if a drive has to fail, usually in SSDs they fail in the first month, and if something happens you can always get another one, or you can return it. So I will use it, and if there is anything I will leave it in the description below, any bad experiences that I feel. But overall I think I'm going to have a good experience with this drive. And another thing I would like to show you is that there is something called momentum cache, and you can enable that. And usually it is done only when a device is powered by battery, because it uses some of the RAM to increase the speed of the SSD. So in case you lose power on a desktop suddenly, then you will lose data. So do not enable that if you don't have battery backup. I will be keeping that feature off because I don't want to risk my data, but in case I feel that it increases the performance by a lot, then I will enable it. This completes the installation, review, unboxing of the MX500. As I said, any bad experiences I will leave it in the description, and if it is too bad then I'll make another video about it, but I hope that nothing like that happens. So I'll leave the best price links for this in the description below if you want to get one of those. There is a 1TB model, 512GB, 256GB and a 2TB model available of the MX500. I think this is the best value for money right now. There is a drive available from Micron, but it's sold by third-party sellers mostly, and it's actually the same company. Micron only makes it. This is just the Crucial branding and you get the software and the support system, but for the Micron you don't really get that much. It's a bit cheaper. After Black Friday the Micron drive is cheaper, but I suggest you either go for Crucial or the Samsung. If you have to clone your drive which contains Windows and you can increase your budget a little bit, I would suggest go for the Samsung Evo or Samsung drives, because they come with a very good software for cloning and it will clone your Windows absolutely perfectly, whereas the software with Crucial is not that good and you can run into issues. So if you are willing to spend a little bit more, go and get the Samsung drive. If you are using it in my case, just for a secondary drive for data, I think this is the best choice. So if you have any more questions, please leave it in the comment section below. I'll answer it as soon as possible. And do subscribe to the channel, hit the like if it helped you out. If you have the same laptop and you're facing any issues, leave the question in the comment. I will try to answer it. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Hey Amazon shopper, it's John with thenetguy.com, and I do tech and gear reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Crucial MX500 500GB SSD drive. This is an SSD upgrade drive or an original drive for your new build computer. I've bought about 20 of these over the years and I love them. I'm going to go over today an unboxing and a quick review of them and show you how they perform in that machine behind me right now. So stick around. So some of the key specs of the MX500 are the 500 plus megabyte read and write rate. This is over a half gigabyte per second read and write. Excellent for your data access speeds. The total bytes written is 180, which is a little less than other drives in the market, but still very acceptable for consumer hard drives. It also features DRAM caching, which is very important to get higher performance out of your drive. The drive comes very well packaged in a molded plastic case, which includes an instruction set, the drive, and a black spacer, which can be used in some installations if the drive is at risk of wobbling around, specifically laptops that might need that extra space. The drive itself on the bottom, top, and sides is all aluminum, and it has a SATA power connector on one end. This is very nice because it's not going to ground out. It doesn't have any exposed edges here that could be electrically dangerous. Okay, we're going to install the Crucial MX500 SSD drive in this Dell 9020 machine. Now, if this is the first time you've installed a hard drive in the machine, or maybe you bought it without one, or you're going to upgrade and you don't care about the data that's on it, you can install this drive directly in the machine and install Windows directly to it without having to do any transfer. If this is an upgrade and you want to keep your data, you can use one of these external, this one's from Sabrent, this is a external hard drive caddy. It's USB 3, and you simply slide the drive in like so and plug the USB 3 end in, and this drive can be cloned with some software. And that's the way that you can copy some data here before you install it in the machine permanently to do an upgrade. We're going to put the Crucial MX500 in the Dell 9020. Now I would recommend that you use a bracket. This bracket can make the installation go much easier, and in the end it just looks that much nicer. So make sure those pins engage carefully, and I'm going to go ahead and install it in this lower slot. Looks like it installs this way. So now that's a very clean installation. I can put my hard drive cables back on. I know this one goes to the top drive. So that's all that's needed to install the 500 gig MX500 drive, let's go ahead and get into Windows and we'll see how fast it performs. Now, what it's doing right now is several different types of disk access. It's going to do disk access in large sequential chunks, and it's also going to do it in smaller random segments. It's going to read and write. And so we're going to get different performance values for read and different performance values for write. So we just finished benchmarking, and the new drive is fast. The read rate is 562 megabytes per second sequentially, and the write rate is 520. How does that compare to the traditional spinning hard drive that's in here? That one maxed out at 106, and the write rate was 111, so it's about 5 times faster. Where it really comes into play, though, is the random reads. In a traditional hard drive, the platter has to go back and forth and look all over for your data, and that was 1 megabyte read and 1.2 megabyte write random. In the case of the drive that has no moving parts that we just installed, it's at 403 megabytes and 361, so just slightly slower for the Crucial MX500. That's an excellent showing from this drive, and it definitely is much faster than a traditional spinning hard drive. So I hope you enjoyed the installation of the MX500 and the Corsair mounting bracket into the Dell 9020 case. This is John for thenetguy.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey there! Today we're going to take a quick look at the Crucial MX500 2.5-inch solid-state drive. As you can see here, it comes in a compact box with some descriptions and instructions. Not too important. Let's crack this open and take a look inside. So when you open it up, it's in a clear plastic protective case. You can easily open it up here. you have the general instructions, so the Crucial SSD pamphlet. Just gives you general instructions. You probably don't need that. This is the actual SSD itself, so as you can see, it's very thin. It's fit for laptops, desktops, or even mini computers such as an Intel NUC. This is a 500 gigabyte one, and I'm actually using it for a NUC, and it'll be my main drive for my server. If you need the extender here, then you also have that option, and it already comes with double-sided tape. One thing I was looking at between the MX500, or between the Crucial hard drives, was the MX500 and the BX500. The MX500 was reviewed to be the best value solid state drive because it's much faster. So that's what I ended up going with. If you're looking for a good value, relatively cheap solid state drive, such as for reviving an old laptop, I would highly recommend this Crucial one. I've been using this for a few years since it originally came out. Not this one, obviously, but this model, and it's been great.
Here is my SSD. As you can see, now I am using in this case as a portable data storage. Thank you.
Now let us see मेरा कंप्यूटर कितने टाइम में बूट होता है अब.
Porque le puse la misma.